I took this one because I like the yellow bulls. I thought she was a fun person.
Most teenagers love digital media and messing around with computers. These refugees and new arrivals to the UK are no exception. At this stage they have very little English, but here in central London they're developing communication skills and expressive language with the help of IT and some committed teachers.
Watching the pictures, any words that come into mind. My name's Anthony Gunning. I'm a teacher for students who have English as additional language at the Olive Centre in Vauxhall, which is a fairly new provision for students in Lambeth without a school place.
This group spend most of their week on the basics, like English and maths. But every Thursday they come to Lambeth City Learning Centre at the British Film Institute on the South Bank.
There are really diverse reasons for them being here. So it's very nice for them to come to such an interesting environment as the BFI, having fun, but at the same time learning new and excellent skills that they might not have had access to in their home country. We have Nadine, whose parents are originally from Guinea-Bissau. We have a Colombian girl called Maria. We have José and Miguel, who come from the beautiful island of Madeira. Dominic, who came over from Jamaica. Young man from Sierra Leone called Bai, who's been here for less than a year. Carla, who comes from Bolivia. A young man from Somalia called Hassan. And Hamid, who came over from Afghanistan about a year and a half ago. So they're being exposed to another side of the education system, which perhaps they might not have had without this opportunity.
Right, guess what? We have our assessment date booked in on the 19th of June. So we've got 3 weeks to create our work. I mean, Lambeth City Learning Centre is a digital centre, so we're promoting the use of digital media. So when they come here, they get to go crazy with all the equipment that we have. They're not fazed by it. I think it's second nature with young people today.
A couple of years ago, we were approached by the Ethnic Minority Achievement Team in Lambeth, and they wanted us to put on a course for new arrivals and refugees, helping those students who probably have very little English and certainly most of them never touched a computer before, to give them some basic technology skills.
The animations they did started off with a storyboard based on superheroes, where the superheroes were the actual students, and they were going to save all these people or all these things that were happening around London. So they saved Mandela and the Queen, and they're going to stop Big Ben from being exploded, and all sorts of different scenarios.
We start from scratches. This is basically the scenes of the film. We had to go out to take pictures of the river, the ice cream truck. I imagine what should I do with those pictures, and then from those pictures I've took the story that I've done. We were actually saving Mandela of his boat because his boat was in fire. Then we had to come along the river with our ice cream truck to save Mandela. Mandela was actually, he was dying. Then we came out of the ice cream truck. We went to the fire in the boat and we saved Nelson Mandela. And then we took him to a pub and we had a party with the Queen and Nelson Mandela and me and Alex. I prefer comedy films because the other ones are like, if you don't laugh, yeah, it's not the same thing. So I thought I should do a film where people can have a bit of fun.
This group are making credits for their animation. Joe's helping with an idea to keep the London theme going.
On the South Bank where we are, there's an area where people can do graffiti. We thought, in keeping with the surroundings, we try and bring a bit of the South Bank downstairs to our basement and have a bit of graffiti.
We make our name by our country flag. Our project is about Big Ben. So we make it like English, like England flag. I try to tell people and say, tell people about the different terrorism. They say, if we beware, anything can happen. Plane common view, it can squash Big Ben. Outside, a fire blaze, the plane send a missile down, and Parliament explode. If we allowed, the world is going to squash, and we're going to suffer. No, we don't want it to happen. We just want people to aware anything can happen. When I watch it, I feel bad, you know. It's like a real thing. Yeah.
In maybe mainstream education, or in large, big secondary schools, the kids who do well in school or are seen to do well in school are often the quietest, most easily hemmed in, shut up, and they'll do their work very happily, but they're not very creative. They won't bring their ideas. And with this lot, they've got the enthusiasm and they're really willing to work, but they're that healthy, kind of boisterous, they'll come out with their ideas and they won't be afraid to say what they think.
Some students, when they're new to a language, will actually be absorbing a lot of knowledge in terms of language and grammar and structures and vocabulary, but might be reluctant to actually use it in a spoken sense. And I'm convinced that this offers such a relaxed, pleasant, positive learning environment that it really encourages people who are new to the language to really begin to express themselves.
Taking pictures of people to see how they dress. The white jacket, it's nice. The shoes. I want to put a video, like section 1, young people, section 2, adult people, section 3, what do you say?
Old people.
Old people. I took this one because they are close for job, smart person. Took this one because they are sport clothes. I like the jacket and they are simple clothes. I go to the college or walk. They wear clothes for cold.
Where they're not confident in English, I suppose we're giving them skills to express themselves and to develop, I suppose giving them an alternative language with which to express themselves. And I think the other key thing is a lot of the projects require cooperation and collaboration when maybe some of these students don't have the language through which to do that, but they're doing that through the technology, and I think that's also quite significant.
Edit. And you say select all.
And the work all goes towards a recognised qualification.
The Arts Award was developed by the Arts Council and it's accredited by Trinity. It's a really flexible accreditation. It values and accredits young people's artwork across any art form. So we knew that this was sort of an interesting structure in which we could deliver some of those more functional technology skills.
It's an equivalent to a GCSE pass. So they come in every Thursday, they have to do all the work, and then ultimately they get assessed by an external assessor, and hopefully they should do well. Last week we went through what you need to do to pass the course. One of the things you need to do is to decide what you want to do for your final piece. What did you like doing? Photoshop? Animation? Photography? Come up with some ideas, what you want your project to be about. It could be anything.
I want to take some pictures from Africa, children and different people in Africa, like the president, how the president behave. Like some people don't have money, but always happy. Like some people have money, never happy.
So you've got comparisons of
Yeah.
maybe African cultures
Yeah,
and Western cultures.
yeah,
So cultures are a huge thing. In cultures is food, fashion, and then you talked about happiness. So that's
Yeah.
another big thing as well. So maybe we can narrow ourselves down to maybe one or two of those things.
Nadine's final project will build on her research photographs.
So right now, what are you doing?
You see this line? Put it around the lady and take this off. I want just the lady.
Let's see.
Is it working out alright?
Excellent. And where did you get this picture from?
Internet.
So you could go to lots of clothing stores, shops, websites,
Yeah.
and get the images that you need from there.
I want to find a catwalk in the internet to start my work in Photoshop. If you see what I'm trying to do, I want her, at the same time she's walking through the catwalk, her mind is talking to her, and her mind will say, you're not alone in the world. You have to help the other people.
They can be really articulate with their ideas, and they'll really like bring in a really massive range of things, from the kind of the inane, the ridiculous, the silly, like Victoria Beckham falling over on the catwalk, and then suddenly that will change round and become a sort of a comment on imbalances between the first world and the third world, and like an image culture, and you know, widespread poverty and famine. So you suddenly go from this kind of 15-year-old brain, and then they're off somewhere else very quickly.
How do you say she's too...
It's her image. She's too, like, they say arrogant last week. You remember that?
Yeah, something like
Kinda
that.
arrogant?
Yeah, she's kind of...
Think she's too important.
Yeah. No, she's not too important, but she thinks that she is important. But she's not important for the world, innit? I want to send a message for those people who don't know about those people who need help.
They have different things going on in their lives. They also have different experiences that they've probably been through that we're not aware of. So we just need to go gently with them and be aware that there's more going on.
If I came here, I don't achieve nothing. I go back to Sierra. No one will look me, and no one will say a word to me like, this person not serious. Yeah, you don't want to do something, you have to do. And you can ask any younger person to play in computer all day. It's fun than sit and you listen to teacher and whatsoever. So I just have to grab my opportunity at this time when I'm young, not when I'm old.
They're really honest, genuine people. They've got a real enthusiasm that other students that you work with in more mainstream education, you don't always find that level of enthusiasm, and that's something that I really enjoy working with this group.